So me and one of my main bros was talking, right? And I was telling him basically how, what I'm saying, I've been going hard lately. I've been doing things that I've been scared to do, discipline wise, because, it might be good for you in the long run, but in the short term, it's hard. It take a lot of stress. It's a lot of pressure. It might be physically good for you, but it's still hard. Like, I've been thinking about going vegan, at least vegetarian, cutting out, you know, animal products and hormones and things that affect my mood, right? So, I was telling them that I already started. I'm like 2 weeks in. Not perfect 2 weeks because I've had fish, but I'm working. I'm taking things on my diet, right? But basically, I was telling them, like, I understand now the difference in doing this now than when I did it before. Because before, it was more of a diet, you know what I'm saying? It was just, I'm going to do this until I lose a certain amount of weight or until I reach a certain goal or look a certain way, right? But I was telling them, like, this time, bro, I got the recipe. The recipe is to do it with the expectation of, well, the result. Like, eating all these fruits and particular vegetables are healing mechanisms. There's things in my body that has been off. I've been in certain pain, certain joint pain, certain, muscles ache, lower energy. So I'm expecting something. You have to come into something with a real expectation to know what you want to get out of it, because you might get something out of it, but you ain't know what you was going to get. So you don't really know what to look for. You just jumping in it blindly. So that's one conversation we was having. But within having that conversation, he was like, I told him, I said, this time, bro, I want to get right and I want to stay right. I don't want to just hit a goal and then fall back off and have to do it all over again. I said, no, I want to learn in the process this time. So I'm going to really take my time while doing what I'm doing. And he was like, yo, man, that's the key. He like, plus we finna reach our prime. And when he said that, I did think about it. A lot of people say that a man don't reach their prime until we're in our 30s, 35 range, right? And a lot of us, dog, this is what happens, especially with a younger generation. We move out the house, we start making money, we start doing things, that we always wanted to do as an adult. And we kind of see being 20, 21, those very young ages as our prime, because we're now reaching a physical peak. Well, I won't even say reaching a physical peak. We're becoming of ourselves. So we're growing into ourselves. We're reaching a physical physique. And we got financial freedom a little bit. We're able to move around, things we've never been able to do before. And we see that as our peak and our prime, because we're now living that freedom that we always dreamed about as a kid. But what a lot of people do is they go so hard in the wrong direction. They go so hard, they party so hard. They stay up so late. They go so hard for certain women. Women go so hard for certain men. They put in so much work for the devil. Some people do X, Y, Z in the wrong direction that it catches up with them when they get older. So they put in so much work in the wrong direction that when they finally get 30 and 35 and they reap what they sow, it's not what they wanted, and it ruins their prime. Some people get to their 30 and they got to pay so much debt back that they're living their 30s to pay off their 20s. Some people done so much damage to their lungs from smoking so much. Some people done so much damage to their liver and kidney from drinking so much and popping so many, that in their 30s, they're recovering from being sick. Instead of taking care of yourself throughout your whole 20s, jogging, working out, eating right, deep breathing, working on the stress mechanism of the mind, right? Instead of doing that part, they went so hard in the negative direction that they got to work out of the negative just to get back to zero, just to start back again, to get back up. And it's possible. People do it. You see a lot of people thrive in their 40s and 50s and so on, but they spend their 30s making up for it. And I realized I don't want to do that. I want my prime. When I hit my prime, I want to reap the benefits. I want my 30s to actually be that time in my life that's peace and full of fullness, like everything, the fullness of life, you know, the joy of life. I want everything to pop out then. I want my skin to glow. I want my body results to show like he's taking care of himself. I want God to manifest through me. I want my words to be vibrant. I want everything I say to be life. I want people to hear me and be like, he's wise, because I done been through. I done been through these things and still gonna go through. But this time when I go through, I want to be that wisdom. I want to be that person. You get what I'm saying? Like the 30s and so on, it's supposed to be you reaping the benefits of the work you put in. When you're young, you go the hardest and put in the work because God gave you that physical energy. He giving you that mental toughness to keep persevering, and keep going and keep pushing. You're going to fail. And when the failure happens, it's going to discourage you because we're human, but don't let it keep you down. Get back up and keep going, because you will get to an age where it's hard to do that. So that's just that. You will get to the age where it's hard to do that. It's going to be painful. It's going to be stressful. But you get back up and you keep going. You keep going. When you're young, it won't kill you. When you're young, it builds you. It makes you stronger. When you're young, the heavier the weight, it makes you stronger. It doesn't tear tendons. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're in the gym, you go harder when you're young because it works. It's building you. You're growing with the weight. You're growing with the steel. You're growing with the exercise. Your lungs expanding with the jog. Your mind is building with the stress. With the situation that you're going through, wisdom is accumulating. That's why when you hit 30 and 40, you should have the mind of a 40 and up year old, because you've been getting so much experience and knowledge and gaining and learning from everything that the negative person takes as an L. You didn't take as a loss, you took as a lesson, to be cliche. That's just what it is, man. It's discipline. It's perseverance. It's persistence and consistency, which is hand in hand the same. So don't burn out before you reach your prime. A lot of people crash out. Don't be that one. And if you do crash out, just bounce back, see where you messed up, calculate your mistake, and get back in the game. You got to get back in the game. It ain't no sitting on the bench. It's 2023. We ain't being spectators no more. We working. We are out here working. We are putting in the work. We are grinding. We are going hard. Ain't no more excuses. I ain't giving no more excuses. You shouldn't get no excuses. That's why I'm doing these videos. I've been hesitating to do this for years now. And now I'm doing it. I don't know the outcome, but that's fine. This is the year and we're going to do it. We're going to grind. And then in my 30s, I'm going to reap these benefits because, one, you got to put God first. When you put God first, God go align everything. And when God aligns everything, you kind of just sit back and watching the show. It's just you have to keep moving. Because faith without works is dead.